Hello, welcome to American Bakery in Germany. I'm Michelle, and today we're going to make a chocolate and vanilla cake filled with strawberry jam and covered in sky blue fondant with a pattern of cats and dogs on the outside. And this is for a twin's birthday. No, it's not for both twins. I already did her sister's cake. That was the twins' birthday soccer ball cake. And today I'm doing the second twins' cake. And I'm really excited about what we're doing today, so let's go! I stacked the cake, alternating flavors and filling with strawberry jam. I made the cake 3 layers since her sister's cake was also 3 layers. I used leftover buttercream from another cake that I had frozen to crumb cut the cake. Alright, in case you didn't notice, I ran out of buttercream while I was crumb coating. It was just barely enough to leave the thinnest crumb coat. I need to whip up a batch of American Buttercream anyway to finish icing the cake, so I thought I'd go ahead and show you how I do it. So, I start out with butter. I'm going to do half a recipe today, so I usually use a whole package of butter. This is about half. I do use real butter. And then I whip it, just cream it. So in case you can't tell, this is a little bit hard. I just took it out of the refrigerator, and this is really typical of when you take something out of the refrigerator that it's this hard. If that happens to you, do not microwave it. Do the whole world a favor. Don't put it in the microwave. What you can do is beat it to death. You beat it to death and it will cream eventually. Right now it's kind of in like chunks. But I'm going to keep beating it until it creams and it comes together and it acts like room temperature butter. See? No thawing needed. It's not that cold. Now when I'm making a whole recipe, I use 2 whole boxes of powdered sugar. Since I'm making half, I'm only going to use 1. And put it in 1/2 at a time, because otherwise you will end up with a dust cloud. So, about half. And that's still really thin, really dry, and that happens a lot. So in order to, I'm going to throw in some vanilla sugar while I'm at it. But in order to counteract that, you add some milk. My daughter is lactose intolerant, my 5-year-old, and so I always use lactose-free milk when I use milk. I also use milk alternatives a lot. Yes, I did use real butter. She is lactose intolerant, but not to an extreme. She can tolerate small amounts, and butter she can handle for whatever reason, and I'm so grateful because it tastes so much better in baking. So I do use butter in my baking. Other than that, everything else is either lactose-free or milk alternatives. I'm just adding about a tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon and a half, and you can see how it comes together just with that small amount. You can also stop here if you want something less sweet. We will taste very strongly of butter, however. We add the rest of the sugar, then it will taste like frosting instead. It will taste like powdered sugar, but yeah. Now that's actually very lovely consistency for piping or something like that. Since I'm trying to ice a cake with it, I want it to be just a touch thinner. So I'm not trying to pipe anything today. I'm not the world's best piper anyway. See? That's the consistency you want if you want to spread it onto a cake. You want to ice a cake with it. You can see how lovely that is. I finish icing the cake with a new batch of buttercream and place it on the cake board. I need to make my sky blue fondant. I take a piece of white fondant and mix it with bright blue fondant to create the sky blue color I'm looking for. My blue was quite dry, so it left little flecks that gave it a bit of character in my opinion. I roll out my sky blue fondant and cover the cake with it. This particular design is quite simple and would be a great cake for a beginner with fondant. I smooth the fondant over the cake with the fondant smoother and my hands, and cut off the excess with a knife. I use a wet rag to clean off the stray buttercream. I'm using a few different cutters today. I have a paw cutter, a bone cutter which I didn't end up using, and a cat face cutter. I'm also using my alphabet cutters to cut out the girl's name and age. I wanted to do a kind of rainbow effect, and the girl's name is 4 letters plus her age is 5 different colors. So I left out the color orange, but used every other color of the rainbow to cut out one of all of my cutters. I had kind of free range on the design because the only thing the girl was sure that she wanted was the color sky blue. It's her favorite color. The rest, she had mentioned that she likes cats and dogs, but gave me no other requirements for the cake. I placed the letters of her name and age in the center of the cake. Then I roll out a log of sky blue fondant to go around the bottom of the cake. Then I placed the best looking cutouts around the sides, alternating colors, and cat and dog cutouts. Nice. Love it. I think it turned out simple but beautiful. I had allowed my frozen buttercream to thaw, but forgot to whip it before trying to spread it on the cake, and it was too thick to spread, so I had to start over.